Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first event of Pi and AI Chennai. I'm really glad that you could join us this evening. All right, so let's just give it a couple of minutes for all the participants to join in, and then we'll start with a nice introduction of the event and the speakers, and then we'll kick off the entire event. So let's just give it a couple of minutes for all the participants to join in.
Once again, each and everyone, welcome for this Pioneer event. It's really quite an honor getting to bring the deeplearning.ai to Chennai. And we're so humbled to have each and every one of us. So welcome, and we will be starting shortly. We'll be getting to hear from our speakers, from our organizers, and also getting to learn from each and every one of us. So feel very much welcome, and also notify your other colleagues and fellow data enthusiasts that we're finally live, and we'll be getting to start off our event shortly.
Hello, everyone. So I welcome you all for today's session that is Pi and AI Chennai. I hope you will be learning something new through this meetup, which is on air. Due to this COVID pandemic, we are not able to host it locally. But anyway, so I welcome you all. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be starting in few more minutes. We'll be waiting for few more participants to join.
Once again, reminding you all over here, if you have any friends or other learners that you would like to share this live stream link with, please share this YouTube live stream with your friends so that they can join too. I will be starting the introduction in about just under a minute. So once again, just invite any of your friends who would like to join on this live stream, and we'll be beginning shortly. All right, so let's begin this event. So, first of all, good evening, everyone. My name is Raman Sharma. I'll be your host this evening for this event. So, I'd like to welcome everyone here. So, I'd like to start with the speakers. So, we have two speakers today who will be speaking at this event. So, first, we have Shubham Gupta. He is a Microsoft student partner, and in the previous year, he has been a TensorFlow Google Coding mentor. And today he'll be talking about how to get started in AI, his experiences at his current positions, his experiences at his past positions as machine learning interns at various companies. And also he'll be sharing with us some of his cool projects that he has built in the machine learning domain. So please welcome Shubham Gupta. He's our first speaker today. And then we have Kennedy Wangari. Today he is hailing all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. So let's give a huge welcome to Kennedy for joining with us today. So Kennedy is currently a data scientist at SafeBoda, which is a transportation and logistics company based in Nairobi. Previously, he has been a data scientist at ConfluxAI. And apart from that, he has also interned as a machine learning intern at various places. He is an existing deeplearning.ai ambassador, and he's an avid member of the deep learning community. Not only does he build amazing projects in this field, but he also helps students like us, students at college, to learn different things, to host different events, to make different products, and basically get tips on how to move in this field of machine learning. He'll be talking about all of his experiences at his different positions as a data scientist at SafeBoda and Conflux AI. But more importantly, he will be talking about the importance of this field and how he has been able to be at the position he is at right now. He will also be talking about the importance of coding competitions, what you can learn from them, how you should approach them, tackle them. Apart from that, he'll be talking about the importance of a positive, uplifting community like we are in right now, like Pioneer Chennai. So he'll be talking about those kind of topics today. So I'd like to officially welcome both of our speakers today for taking off to join with us this evening at this event. So thank you guys for being here today. Now I'd like to officially welcome the participants who are joining us, who are joining with us today. Amidst these uncertain times, it is really inspiring to see your curiosity and passion drive you towards learning something new, learning something more, and it shows with you being in this event right now that you're trying to learn something new and you want to get started in the field of machine learning. So thank you, really thank you for being here. So we have Kennedy and Shubham as our speakers today, and they'll be getting started on their sessions in a short period of time. So I've listed what the kind of topics they'll be talking about today. So before I introduce you to the kind of event we are joining in today, we have a special message from Professor Andrew Ng and the deeplearning.ai team that we will be watching right now. They have a few words for you, and they want to like tell you a few things, inspire you a little bit. So let's give that video a watch now.
Hi, everyone. We do apologize for that short incident where you're informing us that you're not able to hear the audio. So we're going to replay the video and get to hear the message from Dr. Andrew NG. So we apologize for that, and we do hope that right now you will be able to get to hear the audio of the message. So enjoy.
Hello, deep learners. I'm Andrew Ng, founder of deeplearning.ai, and I'm excited to welcome you to our global deep learning community. I know that many of you are here today because you want to break into AI and build your career. I hope that being part of this community will help you to do so. To give you a proper welcome, I'd like to show you around the deeplearning.ai offices and meet some of the teams so they can see where it all happens.
Oh, hi, Andrew.
Do you want to tell our friends at Pine AI what you do at deeplearning.ai?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I make articles and other media that help people learn about AI and help them understand the huge impact that AI is having in the world. Today, I'm putting together the next issue of The Batch, our weekly newsletter, and I'm looking for the biggest stories of the week to keep our readers informed.
What's been the most surprising thing you've run into working on The Batch?
How much is going on in this field? There is never a dull moment. You might think from the outside that machine learning engineers really understand everything about AI, but nobody understands everything about AI because this field is just coming to life right before my eyes as I put this thing together every week.
All right, I know you're really busy, so I'll let you get back to it.
Thanks. See you later.
Let's go meet Kian, who helped me create the deep learning specialization. He's working on an exciting new project. Hey Kian, so do you want to tell the people at Pine AI what you're working on?
Yes, sure. I'm leading a project called Workera, focusing on helping people get offers in AI and navigating their career by testing their skills, preparing for interviews and certifying them, as well as matching and referring them to good jobs in AI.
That's really cool. And what's the most exciting part of your day?
You know, the AI field is new, organizations and jobs are still misunderstood, so I'm excited to help people understand what different types of jobs exist in the field, what tasks they will work on, and what skills are needed to achieve those tasks.
Yep, that's really important work. Well, it's nice chatting, and now let's go chat with Hotel, who is on their product team.
Hey, Andrew.
Do you want to say hi to our friends at Pine AI and let them know what you're working on?
I would love to. Hi, everyone. I lead the product team in deeplearning.ai, where we create AI education content accessible to people all around the world. People like you.
And what are you most excited about right now?
I am so excited to see our community grow and to see how eager people are to learn more about AI.
Thanks, Hotel.
Thanks, Andrew.
So, as you can see, our team is working hard to support you and help you learn. It's never been easier than before to break into AI. So if you want to build a career, you can leverage online resources available, including open source code, datasets, papers, and online courses like a deep learning specialization on Coursera. As part of this journey, I hope you get your hands dirty too. Don't be afraid of diving in to build your own project, or go ahead and try to replicate a research paper that you're excited about. One thing that I've seen help a lot of people succeed is if you can build a community or find a community of fellow deep learners you can meet with and study with on a regular basis. In fact, I hope that this Pine AI meetup that you're at right now will be a good place for you to meet these people. I hope you enjoyed the event today and that you learn a lot, both from the talks and from each other. And once again, welcome to the deeplearning.ai community.
All right, so big apologies for that small inconvenience in the beginning. The audio was not apparently not coming for the video, and thank you, Kennedy, for fixing it at the right time. Really sorry for that, guys. So now let's talk about the kind of event we are in right now. So Pi and AI Chennai is a chapter of Pi and AI, a worldwide series of deep learning events that we'll be talking about. Deeplearning.ai hosts many of these deep learning events all over the world, which are called Pi and AI. And we have our own chapter all over the world. We have our own chapter in Chennai right here. We are in Chennai right, excuse me, one second, in Chennai right here that we will be having. So basically, so as the name suggests from the event series, Pi and AI Chennai is supposed to happen in the Chennai's locality. However, due to the ongoing pandemic, we are doing this webinar today. And the one upside to that is that we have a global outreach instead of just having physical participants. So apart from that, we do hope to have more interesting physical lectures and events in the future. But for now, this first event, Pi and AI Chennai's Learning AI theme to how to get started in AI, how to learn AI will be hosted online right here. So, quick disclaimer, if you guys haven't had the chance to, or for some reason were not able to join the Slack channel already, we have a dedicated Slack channel for Pi and AI Chennai. So the link is in the description below. So you should definitely join over there, because not only will you be talking to the other participants in that Slack channel, but you'll be collaborating on projects, you'll be asking questions, sharing resources, things like that. So quickly, just to give you guys a heads up of the chronology of the event. So first off, right after this, Shubham will start his session, which will last 30 minutes, in which he will talk about his experiences as a machine learning intern, as a TensorFlow Google coding mentor, and the kind of cool projects he has been making, how to get started in AI, and he'll be giving valuable tips to the participants. After which, Kennedy will have his session, which will be lasting about 30 minutes, in which he'll be talking about the importance of coding competitions, importance of having a positive, uplifting community around you, and the importance of like getting your hands dirty with code and learning through doing with projects. So Kennedy will be talking about those kind of topics in his session. After which I will have a small 15-minute session in which I will be talking about my own experiences in learning AI, my own experiences in making projects. I'm still a freshman, a first-year student at SRM Institute of Science and Technology in Chennai, India. And I have started learning through online resources, and I have made a couple of projects. So I'll be talking about those kind of things right after Kennedy's session. So without any further ado, I'd like Shubham to get us started with his session. Shubham, please take on.
Okay, so I hope my audio is clear, Ramansh, and video.
Maybe you can speak a little bit closer, no problem.
Yeah, so hi everyone. Thank you, Ramansh, for inviting me for this event, and thanks to all participants for joining us. I'm really excited for this event. Like we're planning this event from last 1 month, and we have done a lot of things for you. And I hope that you will get to learn more about AI or machine learning and deep learning from this meetup. So as you all know, due to this pandemic, we are not able to host a local meetup in Chennai, but we are doing this as an on-air. So we have a more crowd than the usual. So little about me, as you know my name now. So I'm a beta Microsoft student partner for India, and I'm also a Google coding mentor from the TensorFlow organization the last year. And I was also a pre-final year student at SRM University. So if I talk about the today's session, I have made some 10 or 11 points. So I will be basically focusing on those points only. And these points will definitely help you get started your journey with ML if you really don't have any experience about machine learning or deep learning and stuff AI. So I hope my session will be helpful for you. So if I talk about myself, so I got interest in technology from class third. So my father bought me a laptop, which was a Windows laptop and what not that much powerful, but yeah, it's good. So I started working on then. I just play videos and musics, and you might remember those DVDs players. So I really write those DVDs and play musics from them. So I have a little bit more interest in technology from the starting point of my life. If you see, like my siblings are actually business analysis, so we don't have any tech background. So any technological background is not there. I'm the first one who is doing BTech or studying machine learning and AI stuff. So from the class third, I started using these different technologies. I used mobiles, different mobile platform and all. Then the path which came to my life is on when I was in class 10th, and I just passed this class 10th, and I had to decide, okay, I had to choose 6 subjects: physics, chemistry, mathematics, and English. And the fifth one should be your either it will be a language or it would be a computer science. So really, I don't have any much more about idea about computer science, but I chosen this computer science subject. And for the 2 years, I practiced C++ in that. So for 11th and 12th grade, I practiced C++, and I developed a lot of interest in that field. If I talk about like class 12th, the highest percentage which I scored was that in the computer science. So really I'm interested in technology. So if I talk about joining a private college in India, so I gave exams for IIT, and you definitely know what is an IIT in India and the very hype about IITs in India. But I was not able to clear that IIT part. So I learned, okay, let's join a private college and start learning. Definitely, I will do something better in my future. So I joined this SRM in this year 2017 as a freshman, and I opted this computer science, definitely computer science engineering. So as all we do, like we join a BTech or a college, join a BTech program in a college, we really study just last night or day before last night of this exam. So for first 6 months, that is the first semester. So I did the same. I have no idea what to do, what not to do, and what are the different technologies, what are the different fields I can explore and more do projects and build projects. So my friends helped me a lot. Like one of my friends told me, okay, there is a community in Chennai. Let's join that community. Let's go and go to that meetup. We'll have a lot of fun on that. So I really don't have any tech background at that point, like what exactly is going to happen on that meetup and what are the different things I will get to learn. I just went there and saw someone speaking in front of me and some technology. So at that point of time, I think we have machine learning. So that speaker did something really amazing. That was amazing for me. If you talk about machine learning, so what he did is he actually trained a mobile net. So for the participants, as you can take it as a disclaimer on a note, if you really don't know these technical words like which I'm speaking, so don't be afraid. You just go to Google and search what is mobile net. You will get to know what exactly it is. So basically, like, okay, what he did was he make a machine learning model and he switched it to the mobile. So whenever he point his mobile to some particular object or I can say, you can say any figure, it will just show you, okay, this is a car, this is a glass, this is a tumbler, or this is a pen. So it really excites me because if you can see for a people, normal people like me, okay, you learn from your childhood, from your mothers and from your parents, okay, this is pen, this is a copy, this is a notebook, and etc etc. But how gonna a machine learns this? So that really excites me on that day, and I decided, okay, definitely I will go with this path. So after deciding this path, I wasted 6 more months because I have chosen this wrong course for machine learning, which didn't uh, which from through which I didn't learn much, but I just wasted my whole time. So suddenly I again joined a meetup or a community, and there I met a person from Google actually. So he told me to join, do Coursera courses. That is your Andrew Zhang course, which is machine learning by Stanford University. So he told me to do that course first and get your basics clear. So what I did was I just started doing that course. So it was a huge course for 11, I think. Yeah, it's for 11 weeks. And it definitely uses a MATLAB as your programming language. But I was not comfortable with MATLAB because I just learned C++ in my 11th and 12th. And I have no information about MATLAB. So the first challenging thing was to learn MATLAB so that I can code in code algorithms for machine learning. I learned MATLAB, and then I started this course for around like 7 to 8 or 9 weeks. Then I learned so much thing, a lot of things like how to make a best fit line, how to classify objects, a binary classification, a multi-class classification, how to make a sentimental analysis, how to do k-means algorithm and KNN algorithm, different algorithms for classification and for supervised learning part and or unsupervised learning part. So that really helps me to learn the basic stuff. So the very first project which I made was just a small, you can, maybe if you are in tech, that it's a California housing prediction. So I use that data set from UCI, and I make a very simple, very simple machine learning model, which can just predict the housing prices of this the houses which are present in California from these data sets. So basically, that was the very starting point. And yeah, it was my first Git commit or Git push, you can say, on the GitHub. This was my first project on GitHub. So at that time, I was on cloud nine, like, oh, okay, I made something which is a machine learning algorithm and all. I was really excited. Suddenly, I got an internship in a company which is in Mumbai, and I was a machine learning intern, as in position of machine learning intern, and I was assigned a mentor from that company. So for the next 1 month, it was like really cool stuff going on. He gave me different data sets. He told me to what you exactly have to do, and he told me how you can do this and what are the different helps you can get from the other different resources. So these are the stuff which he helped me a lot. I have like learned a lot of different technologies like what is hyperparameter tuning and all stuffs, which was not basically we get to know about these in the courses and all. I also learned about how to change the learning rates and all different stuff. So that internship like helps me a lot. So I learned basically at a point, okay, I am very confident to go to a hackathon. So I joined a hackathon, which was actually organized in March 2018. Yeah, I'm correct. Like it's on March 2018. So I joined that hackathon, and I was in the team of three, and they were like one person who knows a very good in machine learning and computer vision, and one was like a very good speaker, and he has done great projects in web development. So we decided, okay, we'll go to the hackathon and we'll build some projects. So what we have was a different set of questions, or you can say different set of you can say that okay, scenarios, we can say. So scenarios, you have to make something to fit in the particular scenario. So we choose actually using a computer vision, we have to make a facial recognition project. So we did that project. It was like when you're in a group, or when you have a like a team which knows you very well, which know how we can do something which is very new to that project. Because facial recognition was something which was not overhyped, or you can say, yeah, it's very common to other person. But for us, the challenging part was given by the company who came to that hackathon, and he has given that scenario. So the person from that company told me some scenarios which our project was not fulfilling those scenarios. We have around we can say 8 or 7 hours of time to fix that bug. We fixed that bug, or the difficulties which we faced, and it gives a lot of learning to us. We learned about NumPy, we learned about pandas, we learned about CMake and deep learning libraries, and how to tackle all these problems, starting from we can capturing a video, a frame from a video which is rendered on a web page and different stuff. So that gives me a lot of knowledge on computer vision, because I was a little bit less with the knowledge of computer vision, we can say. So at the end, like we were in the top 5 team, and I was not, we are not in the first 3, so we didn't get any prize. But suddenly after 2 days, I got our team lead has got a call from that particular company that they want our project to be made with their collaborations, and they're offering us a 3-month internship. So our internship starts from April 1, it was lasted till June. So in that internship, we learned a lot. We learned around Vue.js and different web stacks to render the videos and all, to handle the backend stuff. And if I can say, yeah, the machine learning model which we made, we had to tune it more, and we have different scenarios which you should have to build. So I can say, yeah, that those 3 months were really amazing for me as well as my team participants. And to be very frank, like for 3 months, we worked only for 2 months because we have our semester ending exams. So we worked for 2 months, 2 straight months. We built a product, we submitted that product, and we are like happy, very happy. Okay, because we have achieved something. Okay, we got an internship from someone, a company which is a good, and we feel better. Okay, we have to start something new in these particular field. So suddenly I heard about this TensorFlow. So a lot of discussion going about TensorFlow. What is TensorFlow? Is it a library? Is it a framework? Or is just a joke, like people are saying, okay, you do TensorFlow, TensorFlow, TensorFlow. So it was something which was very new to me, if I can say. And I really don't have any idea about what is TensorFlow exactly. So I went to a meetup which was like organized by a company in Chennai, and I get to learn things about TensorFlow. So what's cool stuff that TensorFlow can do, starting from building a machine learning algorithms from scratch till the deployments and all different servings, what TensorFlow can do. So that really excited me, because you at that point of time, you are building machine learning models, but you have to go to choose a different you can say framework or a library. So getting started with the TensorFlow, I got to learn that a new course has been released by deeplearning.ai, that is TensorFlow specialization. So it is actually a specialization of 4 course, I think. Yeah, it's 4 course. It will help you gain a lot of knowledge, or you can say practice or projects and TensorFlow. So the best thing was it was in collaboration with Google. And to be frankly speaking, the instructor was Lawrence Moroney. He's actually a head of advocacy and TensorFlow Google. So it was something like you are learning from a person who is an advocate for that particular technology. So you are learning from the best you can get in the industry. So started with TensorFlow, that requires a lot of computational powers, and so purchasing a laptop and doing all these stuff was yeah, okay, a little bit of difficult. But heard about Google Colab, you can interact with that Google Colab online collaboratory, where you can train your models perfectly, because you even know, like for example, for a machine learning model, even it can train in within a minute, or it can takes around 10 to 12 hours of time to even train a model rather than processing your data. So Google Colab was something which was very new to me. Okay, but yeah, I learned that, and that course particularly helped me a lot of gaining the knowledges. So after getting all knowledges, the other point was to get these codes to be done so that we can have discussion about deployment process. So may I, if I can say, there are many friends who are in my college, and they were like hyped about this machine learning stuff and all. So what they did was like they started also learning machine learning, but what they did is they don't deploy those things. So you are making a machine learning model and you are sticking it to the computer. Okay, so you are not deploying it somewhere, or you are not using it on a particular on a regular basis, or you can say you're not exactly using this point, because in today life we can see we need machine learning algorithms for mobile platform, that is Android, iOS, or even you can see we have machine learning algorithms which you can train on web browser using WebGL and all. So that was really interesting for me that okay, I learned a library which will help me training the machine learning model, as well as it will help me to get in the web and all the native part, that is Android and iOS. So I again took a different specialization with deeplearning.ai, that was TensorFlow specialization for TensorFlow deployment specialization. So I hope my voice is clear, Ramansh.
It
Can
is
you able
clear.
to
It
hear
is
me?
clear. Yes, yes.
Is it clear now? Okay, good. So I was at the point the specialization TensorFlow deployment. So that exercise was like that specific specialization contains 4 different courses. So that for the first one was for the browser-based models. The second one was for the Android and iOS platform and other edge devices like Arduino and all stuff. So I was more toward web development. So I choose this TensorFlow JS to build a model, or even you can say, yeah, you can deploy the models on to web. So definitely, it was really a new experience to build a model, then convert those model to be compatible with your browser and all stuff. So those things, these specialization very helped me a lot. And the other thing was like different projects which I made. So talking about this facial recognition and all stuff, from facial recognition to making a machine learning and an NLP pipeline to design about toxicity of a sentence and all. And the other thing we made was a minor project for our college with my team. So we made a project in healthcare industry, and it was really cool. I like we got really a good feedback for that particular project, because it basically helps rural society of India to get the best medication that they can get, because like you can see in India we have very less, and the doctor to patient ratio is like very high, and we have around one doctor for 10 lakh person or 10,000. I'm not really sure. Uh, yeah, basically around some figures. So we built something which helps doctor to speed up the process of identifying the disease which a particular person says. I really don't want to talk much about that project because it's actually a research project and we are publishing it and trying to patent it all again. And the other projects which we now are doing is smart retail. So it's basically helping your retail shops to get most productive during the different weathers and time and day. So these are the projects which I'm working from last 1 month. Like it's in lockdown in India, so I was trying to do some cool stuff with TensorFlow and web development and the deployment part. So what I did was I just made a MobileNet machine learning algorithms. So I use that MobileNet uh, pre-trained model, and I just deployed it on the browser, and then again this whole thing was deployed on virtual machines. So basically what it does is like when you upload an image of a particular object, it will classify those particular objects. So it was really a cool thing for me, exactly, because the person who loves techs definitely love these things also, because a person who is not in a tech, we can say, okay, what you are doing, I can see this, okay, this is a bottle, this is a tumbler, this is a glass. Why you want a particular machine learning algorithm or a particular website so that I can go to that website and again upload a photo or a video to classify it? But it's not like that. When computers do something which you train or you manage to do that, it is something which really excites you as a tech person and what you contributed things. So basically these are the different projects which I made. And another one like I am making is something which will definitely help a person with disabilities. So it's on the process. So if I can say, this whole journey was like a little difficult for me. Yeah, because I was from a non-tech background. I don't have any prior knowledge about these technologies, and there was no one to help me those time. But yeah, it's a good experience. Rather than that, people are still trying to learn machine learning from last 2 years, and I have done completed the machine learning and deep learning part. So you have to choose your right path. Okay, it's not like you choose something which is wrong and you just wasted your time and your money, even your money, your hard-earned money. So it's basically you have to choose something which is great. Okay, so I have chosen something which is good at that time, and I definitely recommend all these courses to our participants who are there to learn more about these stuff. And if I can say one or two more things is you should focus more on doing stuff by learn by doing as a technique which is known as learn by doing. So if you can take any course on Coursera or Udemy or EDX, so you have these courses are actually self-paced. Okay, so these courses might go from around as long as around 10 months to even 3 to 4 months. So it's upon you how you manage your life things. It should not be like you are sleeping on a bed and you are watching videos on a courses thing. It should not be like, you should always maintain a notebook or a diary so that you can write all those important points, because these points will help you a lot in gaining experience and all the different stuff. And the last point which I would say is the documentation part. So whenever you do something and you uploaded this on GitHub or on all GitLab stuff, you should write good documentation about that, because you know what you made, but the person who is approaching your GitHub profile might not know about, okay, what you have built. So great documentation is a must. If you are spending X amount of time, so X by 10 should be given to writing documentation part at least. And the other thing would be like when you go for blogs. So blogs would be will also be a great choice, okay, for you. That you can even write blogs. So blogs are very good and helps you gain more knowledge, and can even spread your own knowledge to other different communities. I would really suggest you to be a person who speaks less, hears loud, because join good team members, help each other, join different communities, local communities, which are helping things which you can do great. Because when you have surroundings of great people who are doing same stuff which you likes, you are like more you feel more promoted. Okay, you are not you will not feel like I'm only doing something and others are not doing. So you should definitely have in this mind that you should be in a having some good amount of great persons around you, so that you can share your resources, you can learn together. Because if I can say, definitely we in our college and all, we usually study in groups. So when you study in groups and all, you will learn a better way, and it will take some less time, and you can even enjoy one day before your exams. Okay, so basically we have different groups in our hostel, and we divide all these stuff. So you can do the same. You have, if you are have joined a course and your friends are also have joined a course, you can do is like he's learning from that course, you are learning from this course, you can just collaborate and make a project. Or if you don't know something, and if he is facing some difficulty in that particular project, you both can help each other. So being an extrovert is very important. Okay, start talking to different people, start people talking to people who are like you, and you can if you talk to them, you will get definitely get benefited for yourself. And one more thing which if I can say would be like join different challenges, the different competitions which are present online. Like you can go to the Kaggle, so you have different competition going around. You can go to Hacker Earth, you have different companies which they actually organize challenges, and you can get more idea about machine learning. So what they do is actually they make a particular plan of a plan, okay, what you have to do particularly, and they give you a data set to do so. Try to do some stuff with Kaggle and Hacker Earth, I would suggest you, because these two will definitely help you a lot in gaining the knowledge. And the other thing is you should go have maintain a good GitHub repository and good GitHub profile, because GitHub will definitely help you. And in my life, one of my mentor told me like, the more greener your GitHub will be, the more the money you will earn. Okay, so it's about like if you are contributing daily, what are the small stuff you do? Whatever it can be, ranging from writing a single small sentence or a piece of line of code or a whole program, and it can be building something from just scratch. You should contribute to the different society also. So you can do that by open sourcing your projects. You can do this by uploading this on GitHub, because definitely GitHub will help you a lot in those in that part. Okay, so these are all the stuff which I have to speak for today. uh, I think you have learned so many things from these, and you can even comment down on this YouTube video. I think we'll be having a Q&A session definitely after this whole Kennedy will. And I thanks and I can to Ramaj to invite me for this session. And one more thing is like I welcome Kennedy from he's actually from Nairobi, Kenya. So he's joining us today. So welcome Kennedy to this first Chennai meetup for Pi and AI. I hope you will enjoy a great time and with our participants also. So thank you very much. I hope you will get a better idea about machine learning and AI. And I think Ramansh will give my GitHub profile in the description of
Yes.
the YouTube. So you can just
Yes.
go to that description and you can have a look at my GitHub profile for more collaboration, and you can even join LinkedIn and all stuff. If you have any doubt, you can, if you want to collaborate with me and make some projects, it will be good for you and good for me. So thank you. Bye.
All right, thank you so much, Shubham. That was an amazing talk. I think even sitting in front of you, I think we all have something to learn from your journey. The way you were describing your experiences, it was really beneficial to all the participants. Like we can see all the feedback over here. So thank you really for your talk. Your talk was really illuminating for a lot of us. So quick note to the participants: if you guys have any questions, you can definitely go on our Slack channel. If you have any questions about the event right now, you can talk. You can ask them in the YouTube live chat right now. As Shubham said, I have included all three of our GitHub profiles in the description below. So if you guys want to check out our code, if you guys want to check out our projects, if you want to see what Shubham was talking about when he meant to document, to be able to document your code, write good documentation, spend about 10% of your time like writing a good doc so that other people who stumble upon your project are able to understand it. Do check out those GitHub profiles so you'll get a good idea of what a green GitHub profile means. Do also a quick reminder to also join the Slack channel where you'll be asking questions to the other participants, to our mentors who are to the speakers who are speaking in this event, and to each other. You can collaborate on projects. You can start a learning group. As Shubham said, you can sit together, learn different concepts, ask questions. That is the most important thing, I believe. So if you guys keep doing that, I think it will be a good experience for you. It will be a good deep learning experience for you to get started in AI, which is our main theme for today. So Kennedy, are you able to get started now? um, all right, so I think we have a small hiccup right now. So okay, yes, Kennedy, you're live.
Hi everyone. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're
Now we
audible.
can hear
Perfect.
you.
Great. Uh, uh, Thank you so much to our attendees, to our speakers, and also to our amazing pool of attendees, and also our organizers for the event, for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to be joining the community of deep learners, Chennai, all the way from Kenya, Nairobi. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm Kennedy Wangari, as you've been told. I'm a data scientist by professional, working at SafeBoda, formerly at ConfluxAI. I'm also a community leader, an AI community leader I'm so passionate when it comes to tech communities and also innovations. I'm also actively involved in tech communities, and being a data scientist at SafeBoda, my work mainly rotates around artificial marketing intelligence, and many of the times that I do play around and work with customer data, financial data, and we leverage on machine learning and big data analytics, and also data science to be able to help us achieve to be able to help us achieve our marketing goals. And aside from that, I'm actively involved in communities with deeplearning.ai community in Kenya, and also involved with Amazon, that is AWS Educate, as a cloud ambassador. And aside from that, I'm also a machine learning engineer. I'm also an AI collaborator at Omdena. And with that brief description of who I am, it narrates and talks of a story of someone who is now a finalist undergraduate student, but at the same time a data science, a junior data scientist. And I'll be getting to share with us in the next 25 minutes, getting to share with us my experience journey, the significance of being involved with the communities. You've heard me mention I'm actively involved with communities, both here in Kenya and also across the board with deeplearning.ai and AWS Educate. And I'll also be getting to share what is the significance of us being actively involved in communities. I'll also be sharing my experience being involved in data science competitions and hackathons. Yes, I've been involved in a couple of them, all the way to winning the Oracle Student Hackathon Africa 2019. And I've talked of currently being involved with Omdena, taking part in AI for Good projects. So I'll also be giving what is the significance, what have I learned when it comes to building real world AI for Good projects. I'll also be getting to share with us experiences in the real world now that I've slightly mentioned briefly of my work. I'll give just a brief of the projects that I'm working on and what does it take to being a data scientist in the real world. And lastly, but not least, I'll also get to share with us the mistakes that I have along my journey, which I would say so far it's about 18 months in the data world. The mistakes that I have committed along the way, and what are the learnings, and how could that be beneficial to us as we delve deep into the data world, as we work on our roadmaps towards innovating in the data field. So that is a brief up of what I'll be sharing in the next 20 minutes. So starting off, I've been for the better part of last year, I've been involved with data science competitions, and there are a few things that I've been able to gain from the data science competitions. You realize that you get exposed to the latest and modern AI techniques and machine learning methods that most of the people who get to win these competitions get to use. You get to realize that most of these competitions, the winners use complex methods. So it exposes you to new different techniques and new different ways of solving problems. It also exposes you to what kind of problems are out there, and what kind of problems you probably meet in the real world, and how do you tackle them. And also taking part in competitions, of course, when you win, there is that prize money. Also taking part in competitions, it gives you an opportunity to augment your technical skills. It also gives you that opportunity to build up and work on projects. And taking part in competitions also means when you get to win these competitions, you can get invited for job positions and get interviews, selections. So that is the good side and what I've been able to see from the competitive side. But again, from the competitive side of taking up hackathons and competitions, you also get to realize that most of these competitions usually have their problems are almost well established, with their data sets almost well established. But in real world, that's not what you're gonna meet in the real world as a data scientist, because most of the competitions, they do abstract most of the core components of data science. So that's one of the disadvantage. Also, taking part in competitions, it doesn't prepare you, it doesn't train you. What does it take to uh, sit with the business team, understand their problems, define their problems, refine them, and then translate them to a feasible machine learning project? Also, in competitions, you don't get that opportunity to be able to build an end-to-end projects, because most of these competitions, you just subjected to making submissions online, or making presentations. So you don't get that opportunity to have the experience of a proper data science workflow, from problem definition all the way to deploying your model. And also, through these competitions, uh, you mostly will leverage on sophisticated models, but in real life, we usually use, when it comes to modeling, what we call parsimonious models. They are just simple and explainable models. So that is what, on the competitive side, I didn't get to realize. And when I went to the real world, I realized that. So that's the cons of, I would say, having taken part in competitions and now being in the real world. What I would say, I've seen that the data science competitions don't prepare someone for. And moving to AI for good projects. This is all around, our previous speaker talked about taking part in open source projects, taking part in projects like what Omdena usually hosts. That is AI for good projects, Fruit Punch AI, Google AI. And the significance of taking part in these projects is that, one, it gives you that opportunity to work in a collaborative setting, work with your peers or people from different parts of the world. And this helps you to, one, be able to improve your technical skills. Uh, you realize that for most of these projects, you are working with an organization that has that specific problem. So you get to learn what it takes to build an AI solution from scratch. How do you get to go back to the business, refine their business problem? How do you translate that to machine learning project? You also get that opportunity to building an end-to-end solution. So it gives you that experience of building a scalable and an ethical solution. Because remember, you're building a solution that will be implemented by an organization. It also gives you that opportunity to improve your soft skills. In this case, I'm talking of, one, project management, because you're all in a collaborative setting working on a project. You're all in that collaborative setting. You're going to communicate. You're going to influence each other in terms of ideas, and the best idea gets to win. So you're able to improve your influence skills, your communication skills, and a lot of, you also get to, taking part in these competitions, you get to also, sorry for that, you also get, taking part in these competitions, it gives you that opportunity to, and exposes you to the world of understanding real case studies. What do I mean by that? You realize that most of these real world projects are so complex, and with the level that we are all at, maybe you just beginning off or you're at intermediate level, um, it exposes you to go out there and do research and get to look at similar problems that other organizations have implemented, look at, are there other existing projects, and how did they implement them, how are they operating them. So it gives you that opportunity to get to go deeper, understand the various use cases, and see how will you implement all these in your solution. So that means that it also gives you an opportunity to improve what we call your creativity when it comes to handling complex projects. Let's say, like an example, you're looking at, you want to work on a solution in transport. You look at, how did Uber implement this? How did maybe these are other big transport company implement it? And then look at the various use cases. So it helps you improve your problem solving and use cases understanding. And also around the same, it gives you that room and energy to move out and look at, are there research papers, are there academic literature in that domain that you can look into them, look at what do we mean when by these terms, how do we solve such kind of a problem. So it gives you that opportunity to even go further and dig deep into the domain, understand. It gives you that room to also now start getting to know, how do you implement research papers. I have a paper that clearly outlines how to solve this problem. How do I implement it? How do I reproduce similar results? So working in real world projects gives you that opportunity to be able to also get to know how to implement research papers. And again, remember, you are working in a team, so it also helps you improve your teamwork skills. It also helps you improve your data engineering skills, because most of the real world solutions, you get to realize that data is not just like in competitions, like many other times you find just a one established data set. But in these competitions, you find that in real world projects, you realize that data can come from disparate sources. What I mean by that is data can be found from different sources. Maybe you can web scrap, maybe you're going to get your data from your databases. So this helps you improve your data engineering skills. Another core skills that taking part in competitions doesn't prepare you for. So I would say those are the advantages and what I've been able to achieve through taking part in projects so far at Omdena. I'm currently taking part in my second project that's already ongoing. That is a coronavirus data-driven policy challenge. It's already ongoing. And we're getting to look at how can we be able to inform the policymakers and the various policies that various countries are implementing, and how do they affect the vulnerable populations. So that's the project that I'm working on, and I would really encourage us as we move forward, try to blend in a combination of both taking part in competitive world and also dipping your feet, make your feet wet in the collaborative and also term it is real world projects. And from there, I'll talk of the significance of being involved in communities. Like today, we are involved, we've been brought together by the Pioneer Chennai community. And this is the first and unique of its first event. We'll be having very other series of events, and I would encourage each and every one of us leverage these communities, make best use of them, because it's through these communities that you get like-minded people, maybe you are working on similar problems, and you can be able to team up, you can be able to collaborate, you'll be able to work on it's also in these communities that you get recruiters, people who come to attend these meetups to get to know who is best in ABCD, and to basically looking for people to recruit. It's also through these communities that you can hone your soft skills and also master your craft, because we always say you learn better by sharing and teaching someone else. So through these communities, you can volunteer to also organize similar events or share your knowledge with these communities. And you can also scale further. Like I'm one person whom I'm a good case example of that. Communities really help. That in a span of 18 months, I've been able to get to really grow, learn a lot through my supporting my various communities back in school, and also now at a global level with deeplearning.ai and AWS Educate. So I would really encourage each and every one of us, make best use of these communities, give your best, and also make best of the people through these communities. And aside from being actively involved in communities like the Pioneer Chennai series, I'll briefly share my experience in the real world. And one thing I would say is that I'll also sum up these with some of the mistakes that I would say I did commit or I committed in my trajectory thus far. I'm not yet there. I'm yet to get where I want to. I'm still building my traction. But there are those mistakes that I have committed. And as we always say, that you don't have all life to commit mistakes. You can learn from other people's mistakes. And now that I've had a taste of being in the competitive world, taking up hackathons, taking up real world projects, and now as taking real world projects as a data scientist. There are a few things that I would say I made mistakes, but one of them I would say was spending so much time on taking part in competitions, whether it's a Kaggle and all other. I've already outlined what are some of the various uh, benefits of taking part in competitions, but I would really love us to counterbalance the two, uh, get a taste of the competition side, and also get to move to the real world, work with real data, because when you come to the real world as a data scientist, you will be working with real people, real data sets. And mind you, the data out here is messy. It's never in one place, and it's chaotic. So seek out to improve your technical skills uh, holistically, and also go beyond just what is within as a data scientist. What I mean by that is seek out to understand how does the wider ecosystem work. If it's a business analyst, if it's the business people, because many other times you will be working with the business people to be able to translate and help solve their business questions and derive value. So be someone who understands the business side of it. By that I mean seek out to have a better understanding of your domain. Let's say you're starting off to learn, you're starting off your data journey, and you've gained foundation knowledge on machine learning, mathematics for machine learning, and you now feel you're at a point now where you want to make a decision on which path to follow or what next. I've taken ABCD courses in machine learning, ABCD courses in data science. And the next thing is, at this point, that's when you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. And the first question should be, do I want to move to the industry, or do I want to move to academia? At this point, if you feel you want to move to academia, you get to realize that much of the academia work, at this point, you'll be able to have that opportunity on working on one project or a number of projects for a long term, because mostly the people in academia, they focus on long term, doing research and contributing to the pool of knowledge. So that means that if you're moving to research, spend some good time to go deep to understand the maths, because most of these algorithms are they are if you talk of the classical machine learning, they are just statistics and much of mathematics. So for you to contribute to a pool of already existing knowledge, for you to improve these algorithms, you need to understand the behind screen, behind implementations, how do you debug them and all that. So if you really want to move to academia, you got to love maths. And then from there, if you're moving to industry, you've decided, okay, no, I want to move to industry. After you've got to that point, you've picked the area path that you want to move to. Ask yourself the second question: which domain or which area do I want to specialize in? Which area of specialization do I want to implement my knowledge? Let's say I've decided to take up the industry part, like myself. I'll ask myself, which are the various domains that are there? Like in my case, I did mention I'm working in artificial marketing, but more into artificial marketing intelligence. We have retail, we have healthcare, we have game development, we have very many domains. So ask yourself that point: which domain area am I interested in specializing in? Which domain area do I want to make my valuable and meaningful contributions? So I'll just use myself as an example, and I decide, okay, I'm taking up banking, finance, and insurance, because that's the domain that I focus on all along in my journey before now transitioning to work on the marketing subset or domain rather. So from there, the next thing you should start doing is, again, as I've mentioned, start getting to understand, let's say if it's the banking and insurance industry, start doing research. What are the current applications of artificial intelligence? What are companies doing, maybe in my country, in my state? What are the latest trends? start networking, start bringing closer domain experts. Let's say in this case, experts or mentors or people who are already working in that domain. You get to learn, you get to understand, and you get to start gaining knowledge from the business side of, because at the end of the day, your technical knowledge in machine learning, in data science, is just a tool belt. And this is a tool that you will implement, you will use to uh, uh, create value. So if you don't have a good understanding of any domain, let's say in healthcare, you cannot be able to create meaningful solutions that will be able to improve the current work in healthcare. So spend some good time, pick your domain, and then from there, again, as I've said, get to improve your communication skills, because you realize that that is one of the key skills that you'll never be taught in real world. And not many, you can really be good in technical skills, you can get to understand your domain, but at the end of the day, remember, you're not building your own solutions, you're building solutions that will impact businesses, solutions that will impact and improve lives and communities. So seek out to have a deep understanding of your domain, start getting people. And again, as I did mention, this is where now you leverage on your community. Get to understand who are the people who are working on these and these domains. And then the last question that you'd ask yourself is uh, which subset, like machine learning, AI in general, it's quite a vast field. And you realize that there are very many uh, uh, subsets that are there to explore. And the best suggestion that I would suggest is implement a T figure. T figure uh, uh, learning curve, in that you will decide to be an expert in one domain, let's say natural language processing, but be a master of the rest. Like in this case, we have speech recognition, we have computer vision, we have reinforcement learning. So it's only that I cannot be able to show my screen, but go do some research on the T-figure learning curve. Though later we'll be sharing the resources. Be a master of one, be an expert in one of those subsets, and master the rest. Go deep, innovate, and be great. And I believe we'll all be able to get to dive deep into the field. And I believe at the end of the meeting, I'll also be sharing with us briefly what we can be able to do to optimize this time period that we are at home. It's quite tough, this pandemic time. What can we do to improve our technical skill set? How do we get to even maybe prepare for jobs and such? I believe at the end of the event, we will be able to also get to share something. And I'll also be welcoming the various questions that you have, or any clarification that you might be seeking. And that's it from me for now. I'm so grateful, and let's keep the conversation going.
All right, so thank you so much for that, Kennedy. That was really a good talk. Like, it was really enlightening, like even for me, like the way you were describing like some of the anticipations of your mistakes and how you were able to overcome them. It was really inspiring, not only for me, but also for the participants who are joining us today. I hope I'm audible right now, right? So okay, so to keep going, now that Kennedy has finished his session, I'll be having like a smaller session right now, talking about my own journey. So a quick introduction. Again, as you already know, my name is Raman Sharma. I am a Microsoft student partner at SRM Institute of Science and Technology. I'm currently in my first year. I'm a freshman at college, and I'm majoring in computer science and machine learning. So my introduction to machine learning happened around 2 or 3 years ago. So I attended my high school in the United States, where I attended the Bronx High School of Science. Over there, I met my lifelong mentor, who was my computer science teacher. And what she did was she basically introduced the world of computer science to me. But more importantly, what she taught, and what many professors and teachers do not do in India, is that she taught me how to have fun while programming. Oftentimes, teachers and professors, at least in India, what they do is that they're trying to teach you just the programs, not the behind it. They're just trying to teach you how to pass the exam, but not how to basically understand the core foundational ideas, the concepts, and really make new innovative programs. So over there, I took my first class of computer science in my 11th grade. In that class, we implemented all sorts of algorithms. We implemented double sort, sort, and those kind of algorithms and other things like that. And then one day, I heard about machining, and I believe this was around 3 years ago. And at that time, I had no idea what the courses. At that time, I did not pursue the field. I did not learn anything about it. I did not do anything. However, last May in 2019, I finally sat down and I said that I've heard enough about the popularity of machine learning, how it's growing all over the world, and I wanted to get. I basically started with the Andrew Ng course on Coursera. I began by doing the Stanford course, and that course really enlightened me because it's the perfect course to begin learning machine learning. Now, in that course, what we have to in that course, what happens is that the good you have no previous no previous programming knowledge of whether machine learning or computer science, and it starts it starts from the very beginning. So I believe we had some audio problems beginning of the last 2 minutes. Hope those are sorted now. So coming back to it, so I did that online course and I learned all the underlying concepts of machine learning inside of it. Now, the good thing about it was that the way Professor Andrew Ng teaches the course is that he makes everything simple to understand. Instead of talking about high-level multivariable calculus or linear algebra, he breaks those concepts down in on his whiteboard and makes it simple for us to understand. So talking about basic resources for you as participants, if you would like to get started in machine learning, everyone has their own way that they can get started in, whether it be YouTube videos or blog tutorials or online courses. But if there's one place where not only hundreds or thousands, but probably hundreds of thousands of people go to learn about the basics of machine learning, is to the Stanford ML course. And you should definitely check that resource out if you want to get started in it. Now, going forward from there, I want to talk about how you should go about learning from those online courses. Oftentimes, a lot of people, what they do is that they skip around or they go from one lecture to another. And that what that does is that concepts procedurally, and it confuses you sometimes, and then you start dropping out. And that's the part where you just leave the online course and you don't visit it for a month or two, and then you forget the concept that you learned a month ago, and then it's you have to begin all over again if you restart the course. So what I suggest is that if you pick a course, if you pick an online course to get started in machine learning, you should keep at it. You should not leave it at any point. You should try to finish it once you begin it. So I have something to show you here today. Like some of the other speakers mentioned right now in their speaks, that you should maintain a handwritten note for your online courses. And the reason for that is that when you write your own notes with your own hands, you increase the way you need to understand it. So that next time, a month from now, you need to revisit some specific concept or a specific equation. You can go to the slides that the professors make available online, but oftentimes they will confuse you because you did not know what the professor was talking about when he or she was explaining that specific equation. But if you have your own handwritten notes where you can, where you have written all of your equations, where you have written all of your ideas, you will be able to revisit any concept at any point of time, and you will be able to understand what was being taught at that point of time. So I definitely suggest that you should definitely keep a handwritten note so that you'll be able to understand those concepts much better, not only during the course, but also afterwards. Now, quickly switching gears, I want to talk about I want to talk about another thing, which is that during your learning journey, you need to have a mentor with you, a mentor. And the importance, I'll give it with my own example. So as I told you, I found my lifelong mentor in my high school in the US, where she taught me how to learn computer science. And what I would do is that whenever I would have a free period or I would have a lunch period, I would just go to her. Classroom, and I would just ask her about different questions in computer science. I would ask her, "Have you heard about this recent study? Have you?" Okay, and I would just quickly program some sort of quick algorithm and ask her to help me debug it if I was not able to find the optimal answer for it. So what your mentor does is that not only are they there for your questions and for your problems, but they're also able to help you when you need them to be there. If you're going through some downtime, if you're not feeling good about something, and most importantly, if you're going through the imposter syndrome, your mentors are always there to help you along the way. And it's really helpful because they not only are there to, clarify your doubts about their specific domain, but they're also there to help you grow as a person and develop your skills and become a better developer, become a better programmer. So if in the topic of how to find mentors, if you don't have a mentor already, you should definitely join our community so that we can help you, we can mentor you, you can mentor someone else who's joining after you, you can share the little knowledge that you have, and we can build a positive and uplifting community. So that's another thing. Next thing that I want to talk about is the online courses that you would be learning from. So as you know, when you go on to an online courses, they, as one of our speakers said, that they last from about a couple of weeks to sometimes for months. So the thing is that sometimes when you pick these courses, you might make the mistake and pick someone that you might not even learn from. Speaking from personal experience, I recently did a 5-course specialization where it took me almost 1 whole month to do those courses, to do those assignments. And in the end, I realized that I haven't learned something really important. I haven't learned any new concepts. And that was time that I could have spent doing something much better, probably making some projects or writing my new blog post, writing a tutorial, something like that. So when you go online and you find a resource that you want to stick to, you need to be able to evaluate it. Now, it's not necessary that you need to fall into the trap of picking the wrong one and then wait some time to learn and learn about the evaluation process. You can always see from the professor that's teaching it or the syllabus. The syllabus always helps you to see that will this course, the timing it has, the assignment problems it has, will that really help me gain my skills? Will that really help me learn something new and then apply it to my next project? So those are the kind of things that you need to ask yourself to basically go forward from this event. Join different communities. You can go on to Kaggle, you can go on to other places, you can join our Slack channel, you can join different Slack channels, and then help each other out. Because personally speaking, when I started in machine learning, the best thing that I thought was that I was learning from these online courses, I was taking down notes. But what even helped me more was to talk to other people who have already done that course. And you can always find those people who have done the big courses online, and they can help you sometimes debug your code, or they can give you some advice on how to tackle a problem that you're having them. So you should definitely find a mentor or someone that you can speak to. You should find a positive community that is ready to help you when you have some kind of questions. So those will be the topics that I will be talking about. And apart from that, what I wanted to say that in machine learning, so basically, the other speakers have touched upon this concept too, but I would just like to reiterate once that machine learning is an iterative process, which means that when you begin in it, you're going to start by doing some mistakes. When you make your first machine learning model, it's not guaranteed to have the best accuracy, or it's not guaranteed to have the lowest cost function, but it is guaranteed to help you learn something new. And that's the best part about it, is that sometimes what you need to do is that take a step back. If you're being stressed out too much, take a step back. You should relax a little bit, and then take a bird eyes view of your own project. Take a bird eyes view of your own learning process, and then try to basically figure out how you will be fixing the problem that you're having right now. So apart from that, I think we can, that's pretty much all from my side right now. And I think we can start with the question and answer session. So apart from the live questions, we also have pre-sent questions that the participants shared with us before the event began. So I'll be displaying them, and I'll be asking the speakers to answer those questions for you. So Kennedy, the first questions I will be asking you. So if you just, so the first question for you, Kennedy, is to how to get started in learning machine learning, and how to get started with projects after learning machine learning concepts.
Great. That's a good question. How to get started in machine learning? Most of these machine learning techniques and methods do leverage on mathematics. So that means it would really be imperative for us when we're starting off to get to learn basics, what we would call mathematics for machine learning. And in this case, we're looking at linear algebra and optimization. You can go to an OK level. Also take up or brush up if already in your school you've already taken up classes on statistics, probability theory, and calculus, and also you can take up, you can go all the way to an OK level. You don't have to go intermediate. Remember, again, as I did mention during the session, that at this point you're building your basics, you're building your foundation. You should also get to look at, you can look at data structures, graph theory. So basically familiarize yourself with the basic maths for machine learning. This will help you to start building your intuition in mathematics. And then from there, as our speakers have shared with us the various machine learning resources, you pick up a high quality course that will introduce you to the basics of machine learning, get to take you through how is an algorithm implemented, which are the areas of looking at the most common algorithms, so that by the time you're done with these sessions and classes, you have a basic understanding of machine learning. That is, you have a fundamental understanding. You also have a good fundamental knowledge of mathematics for machine learning. And again, as I did mention on this, getting to this level, this is now where you now take up, you shape up your learning curve by deciding which, answering the questions that I did share with us. If you're moving to research, of course, that means now you'll have to go deeper to the mathematics. As you also take up the programming languages and all that. If you're moving to industry, same case, you now at this point now take up pick your domain. And on the second part of the question is, how do you get started with projects? Having done the basic level of projects, having that fundamental knowledge of machine learning, from this point, how you will of course have done research in your domain area, and you can start working on already existing solutions. Let's say like it's banking and insurance domain. You can do a fraud risk project. You can also take up, you can decide maybe to build a chatbot. Basically, this will guide how you'll be guided on taking up the projects. It's by the domain area that you will want now to focus on, and you'll be starting with the simple projects as you build up your problem solving, moving up that way as you take up complex projects, and now it gets you again. Remember, as I did mention, strive to balance between taking up your own personal projects that are again meaningful and in line with your domain, and also taking part in competitions, and also at the same time giving a shot into the real world. So that's how I would say what has worked for me, and I would say I believe would also work for you and for most of us. Thank you.
All right, so that makes sense. So that was good advice on how to get started in machine learning and how to really get started with projects, how to apply those skills in your projects. So Kennedy, we have another question for you over here, that doing courses on Coursera has sort of lost its value that everyone's doing it. So what should machine learning enthusiasts do and strive for to get a job in machine learning?
Great. This question is really coming at a time when most of us, almost every one of us, is at home, and we're leveraging online platforms to take up courses. And also, you get to find that when we talk of courses, I look at it from a high level perspective, of not just on Coursera,
Yes.
but also looking at the university certificates and degrees that we do get. uh, I would first say the certifications and the degrees that we get from the universities, yes, they're good, they're valuable. But when it comes mostly to machine learning world, as the question goes, have they lost their value? You'd say they still have their value, because I look at them as they show a proof that you accomplished something. But what matters most is not that proof that you accomplished something. It's what did you implement, what value or what did you build with the knowledge that you have. Yes, it shows maybe you went to school, you did this, you undertook this undergraduate program, you went to Udacity or Coursera or other online sites, you gained that knowledge. What did you build with? Because I'm one huge proponent of proof of work is better than branding and words. Telling me you did this course, showing me you did this. It's good, yes. I'll look at it and be like, yes. It shows you've taken that initiative to do something, but the real value as we prepare ourselves to get uh, to seeking jobs for those who want to move to the industry, and for those who want to move to academia, to getting to getting accepted for these graduate programs, be it masters, be it PhD, be it getting these research positions, for you to be able to competitively get to such a level, because you're looking at um, many people are really transitioning to the data world, and that is for the juniors, for those who are still undertaking the education in school. um, Most of us are now moving to that field. They're transitioning to data science. Those who are reading in the career, the corporate sector, they're now switching careers. Also, what does that mean? That we now have a sea pool where there are very many people in a field that's gaining popularity. Many people are taking the same courses, getting those certifications. Yes, the certifications are good, but again, I did emphasize and mention that focus more on building technical traction on the work that you've done. Show that you are someone who can derive value for a business by the projects that you've done. And again, remember, all these will be quite meaningful and of value if at all you'll be doing projects that are in line with the area that you're specializing. Let's say you want to be an expert in NLP and you're focusing in healthcare. So you will have built solutions in the NLP to solve problems in healthcare. And one thing I would say is uh, focus more on gaining what we would call a proper data science workflow. But by that I mean strive to do an end-to-end project. Get to move from problem definition, define the problem, how to collect data, if it means going to web scraping, in a project that involves you to do each and every component and uh, what it takes to build an end-to-end project. Proceed and move all the way to deploying, build a data product, because at the end of the day, what matters most, it's not the models. The models have no value to the business and also to you. What is of impactful value is the data product that you've built, and how can we be able to use it to create value. So strive to build end-to-end projects, and that are meaningful. Again, as we said, when you're focusing on a domain, you will not just you'll be able to build solutions, and when you're interacting with these communities, you'll get ideas. What are the problems that your specific domain is facing? You're able to build solutions, and at the end of the day, you are guaranteed you will get a job. And if you don't get a job, you can be able to build the next frontier AI core technology that means you can employ yourself, build a startup, and get a job by yourself and employ others.
Yeah, thank you so much for those answers, Kennedy. They really help the participants, get those clarifications out and their doubts cleared. Thank you for that. Shubham, we've got a couple of questions for you. So if you can just be ready to, have those answered.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So yes. So basically, first question for you is that which programming language should I get started with machine learning and why, basically?
Okay, so when you talk about machine learning languages, there are a lot of languages. You can start with MATLAB, you can go for Python, you can go for JS because of the TensorFlow JS stuff. But I would recommend you to go for Python because Python is like easy to learn, and you will get to learn more about Python when you start building projects. And Python is actually a very powerful language, and it will help you not only getting building the machine learning projects, and even it will help you the different aspects of your life that is like competitive programming, like DS and algo when you do with your Python. So I really recommend going for a Python for building machine learning projects. So I think Python is one of the best right now. And even you can just check the stats on GitHub. So Python is like very famous language. Still, it's like around top 10 in the top 10.
All
So
right.
Python would be a good choice.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Thank you, Shubham. The next question for you is that how can we introduce artificial intelligence and machine learning in schools to revolutionize the education system?
Okay, so for this question, I have two different aspects. One is like, why do you want to force someone to learn AI or ML? And the other thing would be like, yeah, this option is very good. If someone starts learning this artificial intelligence or in his like early life in around 9th and 10th, 11th and 12th, rather than learning physical education and all other different stuff so it's like more interesting rather than that physical education in India. If I'm talking about India, so in India, like our government, so they have decided to introduce artificial intelligence in our CBSE syllabus for central board. If you know, like people can choose this subject, artificial intelligence, in their early life. So around I think it's from 11th and 12th. So for these 2 years, you can study artificial intelligence. But I recommend students not to go towards the hype that is like, okay, AI is everywhere is AI and everyone is talking about AI and stuff. So it should not be like you just heard something from someone else and you just choose this artificial intelligence as your sixth or seventh subject or fifth subject. So I really recommend government to push some more efforts in this by organizing some webinars or giving some quick introduction about these all programs before forcing them to join this particular course in their schools or colleges, because you can't it's like really bad like someone wants to go for web development or android development or any other different field, cyber security and etc, and you should not force someone. So, okay, so it should not be like you are forced to study AI, and after 6 and 7 months you like stuck up. Okay, I can't do things. I am not able to handle the mathematical part, and I'm not comfortable with Python language. I'm not comfortable with the course or whatever the faculty is teaching. So I should if this artificial intelligence course is like launching in the early life of students, it should be like pre-planned, and you should like the government should give prior introduction, and they should have some representative to explain what is exact concept before forcing someone or like before giving someone a choice to choose this artificial intelligence as a other subject in 11th and 12th. So basically, this I think this helps your question.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that was a really important. There was a really important message in there that not only should we be, teaching artificial intelligence and machine learning to college students, but we should also go a little bit lower in the education scale and reach school students, and start with the basic concepts for them. We should introduce it to them with some webinars or with some
Yeah.
physical events once that is possible again. And apart from that, it should definitely not be forced, as you said, because I think we can bring about a change in the education system, definitely with our field, by not forcing it upon students. It should be an open choice for them. If they wish to pursue it, then they should be supported and encouraged to pursue it instead of being held back for some reason. All right, so thank you for that answer, Shubham. And now I have just one last question for you from the participants one last question that the participants posted for you. It is that what are the top coding competitions that machine learning enthusiasts should participate in?
Okay, interesting question. So whenever you take any, you took some course on Coursera or Udemy or EDX or edX, whatever stuff XYZ, you should practice a lot. Okay, whatever your tutor or whatever your mentor is teaching you, it's not the stuff like you should be at that level. You should start practicing. Okay, so I think like the best different websites for this would be Kaggle and Hacker Earth. Like I have seen different companies in India and across over the world who are hosting their challenges, this machine learning challenges, and these challenges goes from like even a day or two to even like 1 month or 2 months. Okay, so what they do is like they give you a documentation part, they give you a data sets, and they give their own specific for information. Okay, what they exactly want from your machine learning model or your project. So it's not all about learning something from your just the course material that is provided by your different platforms. It should be like you just go to Hacker Earth or do some stuff, do some searches. Even you can go for Kaggle. There are different challenges on Kaggle. I think like Kaggle is like very wide and it's very vast. And if I can say, I'll just give you an example to our participants. Like my friend has actually, I met him on LinkedIn. Okay, so he's also a Microsoft student partner. So in that whole journey, what he did is like he have made more than 50 plus notebooks on contribution in this Kaggle. So he's actually a notebook master in Kaggle. So that definitely help you in getting a job or an internship, or it will like boost your profile. Okay, rather than a person who is not contributing in Kaggle or stuff, and someone who is actually a master in that particular stuff. Either you can contribute your notebooks. So notebooks is basically what you code, and either you can be a master for data sets. You can design your own data sets, and the machine learning should not be strictly to the structured data set. Okay, so it should be a mix of a structured and an unstructured. You should learn how to scrape data from different places, as like Kennedy spoke in his term and in his talk. Like you will get different data sets. Okay, so you should know how to manage all these things. Like if you have got a very dirty data set, and there are so many problems in those data sets, and like there's a need of normalization, or rather than like missing values, you should understand. Okay, so you should be able to get all these things done, cleared out before putting it on a machine learning model. So basically Kaggles and all these competition can help you, and there are a lot of like code babas and all, so you can try that. And even you can try different organizations like we have Google Code. So I was a mentor for Google Code in 2019 last year, and like we have around more than 50 or 55 plus open source contributions, open source contribution, you can say, scenarios. So I actually mentored more than 45 plus students to get their all this open source done. And the best part was it was for the age of 13 to 17. So in India, when people were trying to get into an IIT, and the students around the world are actually practicing to score those particular codes, and they are trying, they're contributing. So it gives them a great start. And for those of us like us, you can go to G-Shocks, and there are Girl Script Summer of Code and all stuff. Then you can even join those different communities and take part there. So I think
All right.
that's all for this
Yeah, so
particular question.
thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that answer. Like that was really good. That not only should we be just practicing the making the models, because machine learning just doesn't begin and end in making models. It's about
Yes.
cleaning the data. It's about taking part in different competitions and basically developing yourself as a machine learning engineer or as a machine learning intern, or whatever your position might be at that time. So definitely thank you for that answer. So now that we have the question Q&A part sort of wrapped up. So before our speakers go ahead and give us their final notes, I would just like to having these many problems as of right now, but okay. So I believe you're back online. So um, before our speakers, repeating that, before our speakers give their final notes for this event, I would just like to say that one important thing that we learned is that machine learning is a tool. Your purpose at any point of time should not be for the very sake of machine learning. It should be to build something. It should be to solve a real world problem. It should be to help some kind of marketing solution. It should be to gain some insights from some kind of data, or help or mentor some students, or basically take part in some competitions. As I said, and in making models, there's a whole spectrum of activities and process that you need to take care of and that you need to do, both before you start making your model and after you start making your model, because machine learning is an iterative process. Okay, so before we okay, so now we can so I think the internet connection is becoming really stable, so we should move towards the end of the event. So if Kennedy, you can go first by giving your final notes for the event.
Thank you for.
Sorry guys, I think the internet connection is being. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Great. Thank you so
Yeah, I
much
can hear you.
for the interactive session that we've had, getting to hear from various speakers, and also getting to have burning questions getting to be answered. I did mention that at the end of the event, I'll share with us just a few tactics, I would put it that way, that we can leverage on now that we at home, and to be able to make best use of this time period to one, prepare ourselves for career in data world after post COVID, and more to that, to also get to jumpstart ourselves in data science for the beginners. So for those of us who are beginning, who will be delving deep into the data world after you've taken up again your fundamental courses, you've acquired the knowledge in mathematics for machine learning, you've gained the knowledge in machine learning, and I did mention you spend some time to research on the various who want to prepare for a career. I would recommend uh, get to select about 2 or 3 or 4 companies in your domain that you're quite interested in, or you'd love to work or solve work. You find it quite exciting working with the projects. Get to research, get again to connect with their staff members and their data teams. Get to know what they're working on, get to know their problems, and start tailoring your solutions or the kind of projects that you want to work on this time period. Again, make best use of this time to network with them. And I believe after post-COVID, it will be even be easier for you to make your applications, or now that you've been good terms with them, to even get invitations. Aside from that, I would also encourage us to uh, build our portfolios. This has been said and emphasized. Build solid portfolios with meaningful projects, whether it's a beginner level project, provided it's a meaningful project that you're working within your domain. Start building your strong portfolio, make those regular commits on GitHub, and also move beyond that. We mentioned and talked of it's high time we get to improve our soft skills. After you've you've made your commits and you've published your solutions on GitHub, spend some time write a technical blog post, make the summaries of your notebooks, share the links on Medium, share the links on Reddit, on LinkedIn. And I believe now that most of the people right now at home, they'll be able to even give you that feedback. You'll be able to also know how to improve on your projects, and also revamp your resumes, work on projects. And if you get some ample time, if you're at an intermediate level, you can look at challenges like AI for Good solutions at Omdena. They usually host challenges every month. You can also get to look at, I believe, I'm better to understand Google coding. Open source projects have already kicked off. You can also look out, are there ways you can help other organizations within your area or even remotely, but basically make impactful use of this time by building more technical traction, working on your soft skills. It's either maybe getting to network with the people in your domain, but make this time meaningful, build your traction, improve your technical skill set, your soft skills, get to network with these people, get to move into the communities. And I believe post-COVID, you will have improved a lot, and it will be easier for you to even get jobs, or probably by then when things will be back to normal, you'll also have moved at a greater level and have scaled higher in your data career path. So that's it from me. Make best use of this time. We'll all still be at the Slack channel. Keep uh, pushing your questions, and also always willing and ready to support. And that's why we always create time and sacrifice ourselves, that beyond boundaries, we're ready to support, and also get to learn more from the community in Chennai, and get to see how can we even going forward get to collaborate and work on meaningful solutions. And I believe this is a conversation that we've just started, this being the first of the mini series of highly impactful events and sessions that we will be having. So I would really encourage each and every one of us, get to pair with your fellow data enthusiasts. Let's come together as a community. Let's work collaboratively. Let's raise this as a strong community, and move beyond borders to be able to see how can we be of value to the various uh, organizations, and also to our communities, and derive value in this data-driven economy. So from Nairobi, Kenya, thank you so much to each and everyone, to our highly interactive attendees. Keep your questions coming, to our organizers and to our speakers. I've really learned a lot, and I look forward to working and collaborating with each and every one of us. And let's keep the conversation going, and thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Kennedy. I think it's really important, especially during this pandemic, to be hopeful towards the future. And as you said, that if we keep developing ourselves, if we keep learning, then when all of this is over, when we can, start to go out and apply again, I think we'll all come out stronger and smarter and more, assimilated into the data world than we are, say, right now. So, Shubham, can you please give us a couple of your ending notes? It would be really.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Ramansh, for inviting me for this today's session, and thank you, Kennedy, from our whole country, India. We are really thankful to you to join us for this event. And as last note, I would just say, you have internet, okay, so you can just connect anywhere around the world. Okay, you can get projects from other person, you can collaborate with person who are not from your country. Even you can collaborate a person who are studying with you in your college or schools, because collaboration is the thing which will help you build something which is really good. Start building something which helps the society also, because like in this pandemic, where people are suffering from for their lives and all, it's very difficult time for us as well as everyone in the whole world. Okay, so we really are going for with a tough time. So one thing we can do is you can just share what you have in your GitHub. Okay, maybe you can get some data sets from different data set gallery, because governments are releasing data sets. You can just try your hands on those data sets related to COVID-19, and maybe you can end up building something very great you may end up building something like which will help the society fighting this COVID-19. It will be a very good for all of us and for you also. So try searching something new, do something new every day. Don't be like keep your whatever you do. Don't keep it to yourself. Just show it on your GitHub, show it on your LinkedIn. There are a lot of people who want encouragement, or they want ideas. Like this last 1 or few weeks ago, like I shared some projects on LinkedIn. I got more than 150 plus likes. So people are there to see your projects, contribute to your projects, and they want some head start. Okay, that you may get when starting in your life, like when you started learning machine learning, because someone others gave you a head start with some techniques. So you can be an inspiration for someone else. You may be building something which will be useful for others also. So don't hesitate to show it to all communities. And I think GitHub is one of the best platform where you can host all your projects, and maybe I'm not saying all your research work and all. You can definitely make it as a private, and you can even you can share your normal repositories and all, whatever the new things which you did on that day. Make a routine to do something, some contribution daily, be in a manner wise. It should not be like you are contributing for 15 days and then you stop contributing to uh, communities, and start joining different communities around your city. There are so many people, like-minded people, who can help you get things done, and they can even give you some resources, and you can have a great conversation with them. And definitely they basically organize those events on Saturday and Sunday, and you can go chill there, learn something new, get collaborate with other people who are like-minded and want to learn something which is very new from a speaker who, are, who is actually very trained in that particular field. So these will help you a lot. And I would say you can definitely join Kaggle and all stuff, and Coursera, different courses to get a head start. And don't go for the certification. That's all, because certification doesn't matter at all. For me, like you can get a certificate. Okay, so certificate is there, but what at that point when you have to build something, you are not able to build that. So that certificate is actually a waste. Okay, so be a little more practical rather than going for just certification. And as Ramansh already said, like you should maintain a notebook which contains all your small notes, because after 2 or 3 weeks you might end up like mixing the stuffs in your code, and you might have want a quick review of your what you learned, and so these will definitely help you. So that's all from my side for today, and thank you very much, Ramansh, once again, and Kennedy, for joining us today. Thank you, Ramansh.
All right, thank you so much, Shubham. I think this was I'm audible, right, guys?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, I think the internet connection for a second. So thank you for your words, Shubham. I think it's really important, as Shubham just mentioned, that you should learn by doing, not just by watching videos or just taking down notes. In the end, when you go for a job interview or for an internship interview, you're gonna be displaying your projects over there. So you need to be able to show that you can code, and I think that's a really important learning that we can take from this ending note. Now, just a couple of ending notes that I have over here. So welcome to the deeplearning.ai community. So you as the participants, you're a part of this community now. You're going to be learning with us. You're going to be making different projects. You're going to be collaborating with each other. So just a quick note that after this event, when you have a post survey, when you get an email for the post survey, post event survey, you should definitely fill that out so that you can receive some of the exclusive coupons for the deeplearning.ai's online courses. So do be sure to check that out. And because in the beginning of the and so for, I would like to say a special thanks to everyone over here. I would like to thank the deeplearning.ai team, Alice Lynn and Professor Andrew, for giving me and the other hosts and speakers today this amazing opportunity and this forum to be able to speak and to share our knowledge and experience. So thank you to the team. I would like to thank Kennedy and Shubham for taking their time off to speak at this event today. Their experiences, their knowledge, their advice, their anticipation of mistake, and all that they talked about today is really important, and it really helps the participants and students get started in AI, and it helps them learn artificial intelligence and machine learning to get started in the field and then develop from there. So thank you guys so much for that. I would like to thank the participants for joining in. It was a kind of a bumpy ride today. The internet connection was unstable at many times, but in the end, we were all able to learn from each other. We were all able to share our experiences, and we accomplished the goal of today's event. So as a bonus for the in the end, I would like to we will be displaying the deeplearning.ai's message once again, the Professor Andrew's message once again, because it was so let's end with that inspiring message once again.
Hello, deep learners. I'm Andrew Ng, founder of deeplearning.ai, and I'm excited to welcome you to our global deep learning community. I know that many of you are here today because you want to break into AI and build your career. I hope that being part of this community will help you to do so. To give you a proper welcome, I'd like to show you around the deeplearning.ai offices and meet some of the teams so that you can see where it all happens.
Oh, hi, Andrew.
Do you want to tell our friends at PineAI what you do at deeplearning.ai?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I make articles and other media that help people learn about AI and help them understand the huge impact that AI is having in the world. Today, I'm putting together the next issue of The Batch, our weekly newsletter, and I'm looking for the biggest stories of the week to keep our readers informed.
What's been the most surprising thing you've run into working on The Batch?
How much is going on in this field? There's never a dull moment. You might think from the outside that machine learning engineers really understand everything about AI, but nobody understands everything about AI because this field is just coming to life right before my eyes as I put this thing together every week.
All right, I know you're really busy, so I'll let you get back to it.
Thanks. See you later.
Let's go meet Kian, who helped me create the deep learning specialization. He's working on an exciting new project. Hey Kian, so do you want to tell the people at PineAI what you're working on?
Yes, sure. I'm leading a project called Workera, focusing on helping people get offers in AI and navigating their career by testing their skills, preparing for interviews and certifying them, as well as matching and referring them to good jobs in AI.
That's really cool. And what's the most exciting part of your day?
You know, the AI field is new, organizations and jobs are still misunderstood, so I'm excited to help people understand what different types of jobs exist in the field, what tasks they will work on, and what skills are needed to achieve those tasks.
Yep, that's really important work. Well, it's nice chatting, and now let's go chat to Hotel, who is on their product team. Do you want to say hi to our friends at PineAI and let them know what you're working on?
I would love to. Hi, everyone. I lead the product team in deeplearning.ai, where we create AI education content accessible to people all around the world. People like you.
And what are you most excited about right now?
I am so excited to see our community grow and to see how eager people are to learn more about AI.
Thanks, Osel.
Thanks, Andrew.
So, as you can see, our team is working hard to support you and help you learn. It's never been easier than before to break into AI. So if you want to build a career, you can leverage online resources available, including open source code, datasets, papers, and online courses like a deep learning specialization on Coursera. As part of this journey, I hope you get your hands dirty too. Don't be afraid of diving in to build your own project. or go ahead and try to replicate a research paper that you're excited about. One thing that I've seen help a lot of people succeed is if you can build a community or find a community of fellow deep learners you can meet with and study with on a regular basis. In fact, I hope that this PyNAI meetup that you're at right now will be a good place for you to meet these people. I hope you enjoyed the event today and that you learn a lot, both from the talks and from each other. And once again, welcome to the deeplearning.ai community.